There's a message I need you to hear before we begin. The doors that felt locked for 10 years are finally starting to open. For a long time, the story of buying a house in Canada has been a story of no. No space, no money, no hope. But 2026 is becoming the year of the big reset. It's a moment where the power moves back to you. I remember sitting in my kitchen table years ago. I was looking at my bank account and then house prices. I felt like a cold pit in my stomach. I wondered if I would be a renter forever. I wasn't the hero of that story. I was just another person caught in a storm. I know many of you feel the same struggle right now. Today we are going to walk through this together. We will find a path forward and see why 2026 might be the most important year for your future. To see where we're going, we have to look at the mess we just walked through. The year 2025 was very wobbly. It felt like the whole country was holding its breath. Suddenly, a shock hit the system. Trade chaos. There was talk of a 25% tax on everything coming across the border. Families who wanted to buy a home got scared. They didn't just slow down, they froze. In British Columbia, the number of homes sold fell by 2%. Across Canada, people lost hope. The market felt like a giant waiting room where the heat has been turned off. But here's the first secret. While 2025 felt weak, it was actually the world taking a deep breath. Experts say that since early 2025, buyers have slowly creeping back. All that waiting is like a coil spring. It's getting ready to pop. Because of this, 2026 is forecast to be a massive turning point. National home sales are expected to jump by nearly 8%. In British Columbia, that jump could be over 10%. The waiting room is finally opening its door. The green light is coming. Now let's talk about the money in your pocket. Most people who own a home has a mortgage. They sign a contract for 5 years. Here comes a big threat. About 60% of all home loans in Canada are coming up for new contracts in 2025 and 2026. If you bought a house 5 years ago, your bill is about to change. Imagine your phone bill suddenly jumping by 20%. That is hundreds of extra dollars every month. This is a real struggle for families already feeling the pain of high prices. But here's the aha moment. The villain of our story, high interest rate, is finally stepping down. Bank of Canada has stopped its war on high prices. They have left the interest rate at a steady level of 2.25%. For the first time in years, the cost of borrowing is stable. You don't have to worry that if you wait until tomorrow, the price will go up again. Most people have been getting raises at work, which helps them pay the new bills. Canada has always been a country that grows fast. More people usually means higher prices. But something we have never seen before is happening. The government is changing the rules for people on short-term visas. They want to move about 2.8 million people out of the country over the next 3 years. At places like BC, there's a huge pile of houses for sale, over 40,000 of them. This creates a rare window. In big, expensive cities like Toronto and Vancouver, prices are actually expected to fall. In Toronto, they could drop 4.5%. For a first-time home buyer, this is the first time in generation that you might see a sale in the most expensive places. Meanwhile, Alberta is the cool kid. Prices there are still going up because everyone is moving there for a better deal. You finally have a choice. You, the buyer, get to be the boss of the story again. Let's look at renting. For years, finding an apartment felt like a fight. There was too many people and not enough rooms. But now, record number of new apartments are being finished. At the same time, there are fewer international students coming in to rent them. This has pushed the vacancy rates up to 3.1%. That is a fancy way of saying there are a lot of empty apartments. For the first time in years, landlords are competing for you. They are offering gifts just to get you to move in. Imagine getting 1 or 2 months of free rent, or free appliances and money to help you move. Renters finally have breathing room again. The pressure is easing. The struggle isn't over, but the path has changed. We still need to build more houses by 2030 to make sure everyone has a place to sleep. But there is a hope. The government's new plan are expected to shrink that housing gap by 45%. They're even starting to build thousands of factory-made houses on government land. The big reset of 2026 means the market is starting to act like a normal business again. Prices are becoming fair, loans costs are steady, and you finally have your power back. I want to know your story. Does 2026 feel like the year you can finally stop waiting? Or are you still worried about those higher bills? Are you thinking about moving to a cheaper province like Alberta? Or are you staying for the sale in the big cities? Please share your thoughts in the comments and please hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.